Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and set this up now. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to get into with this topic, man. It's it's amazing, man. Man. Someone's opinion. Speaking of Desean Jackson, you know what I'm saying. And amazing how this hit the airwaves, man, this past week. And it has to be talked about because the truth is getting out and on the downfall and the end of Esau's kingdom. All right. Now that they're mentioning this in national news, because there's been from Great Millstone has always said there's always been a great media blackout on the Israelites. All right. And on the dealing with the what you call the Jews being the so-called Negroes. The truth of them being, you know, so being Negroes. All right. So, like I said, give me about. I'm gonna start this, man. This is a subject, man. It's got to be. I'm gonna start this. All right, and I'm gonna share this. I'm sharing this to different brothers and sisters just right now on Facebook. You know, um, like I said, give me about 2 minutes and we'll get it popping and rolling in here, man. You know, I'll say this too as brothers and sisters come in. I believe that this was something authentic. You know, it's something that's authentic. That actually occurred because we see brothers like in the entertainment industry. A lot of these guys are not. A lot of these guys be faking the fun, doing it for the time's sake. I think this is actually a sincere moment that's happening. Um, with this, but yeah, give me a second, man. All right, yeah. So let me go ahead and set this up. Go ahead. All right. Actually, let me go ahead and share this. Second. I'll go ahead and share this. Real quick, and I'm gonna start this. Okay. All right. Or I'm gonna go ahead and start this. All right. First and foremost, I want to say call Allah, Yahweh Bashem. This is Rabbi Bangad from the Zealots Israel camp. All right. And I want to go ahead and go into this. Go ahead and share the screen. Let's go ahead and share the screen and touch on this, man. This whole thing that happened on, I guess, for ESPN's First Take. All right, I haven't watched ESPN in 10 damn years, man. Um, not and anytime I watch it, it's just garbage, man. It's being spewed out, man. Um, but yeah, I'll go through some scriptures and I'm gonna go through some things that are historic. Saying that justify Desean Jackson's comments. Now, one thing we got to understand before I play this, the comment that the comment that he was reading that allegedly was made by Adolf Hitler, that wasn't an actual speech that he made. But he has made speeches in the past alluding to the black people being the real Jews, like Jesse Owens being the only Jew over there. He's also made references to his own people, all right, that was following him during that whole Nazi Germany shit, all right, excuse my language, where he was basically telling his own people that, yes, dealing with those Jews that are in that land. And he himself was a so-called Jew, all right, speaking of Adolf Hitler, all right. He basically told his people, you know, had them watch in a theater watch movies and told them those are those bastard Jews. They're not the real Jews. All right. So let's go ahead and you know, if brothers and sisters are watching, you know, let's go ahead and dive into this topic, Salakia. Go dive into this, and let's go ahead and go right into the video. All right.
The Eagles released this statement on Jackson, which read in part, regardless of his intentions, the messages he shared were offensive, harmful, and absolutely appalling. They have no place in our society and are not condoned or supported in any way by the organization. We are disappointed, and we reiterated to Desean the importance of not only apologizing, but also using his platform to take action to promote unity, equality, and respect. We are continuing to evaluate the circumstances and will take appropriate action. Max, I want to start with you. What's your reaction to these comments by Desean Jackson?
Sorry, did you ask me, Molly?
Yeah, you, Max, please.
First of all, I'm Jewish, so I'd like to.
Yeah, of course you're Jewish. Your name is Kellerman. Anything with the last name of man, or anything alluding to any kind of money, right? Like the Golden Sachs, right? Goldsman, Silverman, so on and so forth. You know, you're dealing with a Jew, all right, or a so-called Jew, a Jewish, all right. Let's go ahead and deal with this.
To accept Desean Jackson's apology, but I need to know more. Part of the quote, they will extort America. Their plan, meaning the Jews, for world domination won't work if the Negroes knew who they were. This is not about uplifting black people primarily. This is about, if you think about it, Desean, why black people are in a bad position. Jews are being scapegoated. First of all, there's no truth in it. Jews do not have a plan for world domination.
But you know what's funny about this? Like this, and you could tell that this is getting under this guy's skin. You know what I'm saying? As you'll see in this video. And it's funny. It's really hilarious. All right. How emotionally distraught this man gets because because look, at the end of the day, man, the truth's out there now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're having and Shalawam to everybody that have came in on both platforms, and I'm sharing this. Yeah. It's like this, right? You know, you like the cat's out the bag, man. And I'm gonna go through the scriptures, but I'm gonna have to play through this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to make tidbits and drop points, man. What's going on right here? Now, this dude said that this is not based off of any facts or any upliftment of black people. All right, and you know, he's basically just going into his whole little tirade and his little tantrum type spiel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like this. You're saying that Jews are not trying to rule the world, but when you deal with the NBA, the NFL, I mean, you even deal with boxing. You deal with all these TV networks. They're owned by so-called Jews. All right. What is it? What is it? Viacom. Owned by Jews. All right. I don't know who owns ESPN. All right. I guess you could say Disney, right? But most of these NFL owners are Jewish people. A lot of them are. Adam Silverman, what is he? The president of the NBA, or he's the commissioner of the NBA who's overseeing all this stuff with the NBA. He's a so-called Jew. Donald Sterling was a so-called Jew. Most of these people that own these big major companies and whatnot are Jews. Max Kellerman, on First Take, you are a Jew. The problem with this and their whole plight of what happened during the World War II and how supposedly how vicious and how evil Hitler was, even though Napoleon was way worse than Hitler, killed way more people on the Isle of Haiti. All right, and just alone. All right. Look, you own everything. You have all the money. You have everything. But whenever there's comments made towards these people, what they do is they go into defense mode. When the truth gets revealed about them, they go into defense mode. And I got the book, what is it, 13 Tribe? And I might bring that out since we're talking about this subject, right? You know, they like, look, let's just deal with this. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make those quick points on that.
I have no plan for world domination, and there is no secret.
Yeah, but your people do, though, or at least a section of your Caucasian buddies do.
Secret cabal with some plan for world domination. I don't even know what blackmail or extort America means in this context. I don't think you do either, and I don't think anyone does. It's unintelligible. It doesn't make any sense. And it plays on the worst kind of anti-Semitic tropes and stereotypes.
All right, and that's spiritual. He said that at the 144 mark. How spiritual is that, right? Now, anti-Semitism. All right, I really get tired of these so-called Jews. And their real nationality is Esau. In the tribe of Esau that they're from is the highest of highest, which is Amalek, who the Lord has great indignation forever. All right. We understand the so-called white man rules this world, but which section of the so-called white man rules majority of the world? So-called Jew, so-called Jewish people. All right. And really their fathers are not even Jewish people. Their fathers are from the Ottoman Turk Empire. Their fathers are from the Khazarian Empire. Okay. And I'm gonna bring that out. That book, that if I had that book over there in my bag, and I might bring it out, but anti-Semitism, right? Let's deal with that. Let's deal with Semitism, all right? Because that word gets thrown out there by these so-called Jews and these idiots that protect these people, right? Let's deal with that. We're gonna get two sources. Semitic. Semitic. Let's deal with that. So look, Semitic, relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician, Akkadian, consisting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. Of the Afro-Asiatic family. And then the other one says relating to people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic, but that's already discussed in the very first sentence, all right? The very first thing that you find, all right? So this is off the dictionary. So it says main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. So my question is, because there's people calling themselves Afro-Asiatic, speaking of black people, right? How is it far-fetched that you have black men I mean, see, I like this world is so simple, man. It's so real. It's just like the level of comprehension is just not in this world. But what this man just said, anti-Semitism. So what are you saying? What do you mean by that? And we got to deal with like all of these Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? And these people that protect them. If you're saying anti-Semitism, what are you saying? What are you actually meaning? Do you even understand what the word actually means and where it originates from? Right? Anti-Semitism, I'm going to read that again. Relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, Aramaic, certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, consisting the main subgroup of Afro-Asiatic family. So my question is, if you're a part of that Afro-Asiatic family, and of course people call Black people Afro-Asiatic, Afrocentric. They use those terms to identify people of a certain mindset or a certain identity. Then how are you anti-Semitic when the dictionary says those are people that speak these different languages from the Afro-Asiatic area, those Afro-Asiatic areas? This is why this you have a fool in the so-called white man, especially these false Jews, all right, speaking of these Amalekites, these Edomite Amalekite people, all right, and they're running this world under the false pretense of being Jews. So with that being said, we're just going to stop right there. With that being said, because I could bring out the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And actually, let me go ahead and bring that out before I bring the scriptures out. Let's go to Semitism. Let's go to Semitism or Semitic, all right? Because really, it's supposed to be Shemitic, people that descend from the people of Shem, all right? And majority of the Shemites speak what? They speak Hebrew or a broken version of it, all right? And that includes Edomites, all right? Because that's another thing too. Everybody refers to the Hebrews as Israelites. It's not just Hebrews that are Israelites. You have Hebrew Ammonites, Hebrew Moabites, all right? Hebrew Edomites, Hebrew so on and so forth, right? So let's deal with this Shemitic or Semitic, Slakia. So I'm getting warmer. Let me skip back. So Semitic. So Semites, right? So this is what the word Semitic, all right? So it says, so this is off of page 534 in the Zondervan Commentary. It says what? Derived from Noah's son Shem. The term is used to identify a diverse group of ancient peoples whose language are related, belonging to the Semitic family of languages. The world of the Semites in the ancient historical times was the Fertile Crescent, and that's the area where Mesopotamia, Israel, the land of Canaan is at, all right? All right. So it says the world of Semites in ancient historical times was the Fertile Crescent, that green land which begins in southern Babylonia in the east and includes Mesopotamia, Syria, Palestine, ending in the border of Egypt in the west, hemmed in by mountains, seas, and the deserts, the principal Semitic peoples of the ancient times. And it names off different Semitic people: Akkadians, Armenians, the Canaanites, the Arabs, the Ethiopians. All right, these are people that would be considered Semitic, but Sem goes back to Shem. These people are living under a false pretense of who they really are. Yes, they're Shemites. They would technically be Semitic from that standpoint, but you can't call everybody anti-Semitic, because if they come from those subgroups of people, and Ethiopians and Canaanites are of the house of Ham. All right. And actually, let's deal with that. Let's go ahead and go to the scriptures. Let's go ahead and go to the Blue Letter Bible. Yeah, let's deal with that. Let's go to, this is the 10th chapter, I believe, right? Let's go ahead and go to Genesis 10. So let's deal with the genealogy. Genesis 10 and 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. So every person that's living on this damn planet comes from the line of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right. And whenever they say Semitic or Semitism or whatever, they're talking about Shem. But what they don't realize is that there's more than one nation of people or a subgroup of people that would be considered Semitic and have a genealogical lineage going back to Shem. All right. And that's something that people do not understand. And because we're living in a time where knowledge is destitute, although there's knowledge being poured out, there's a lot of ignorant, stupid, retarded people in this world. There's some people that just don't know stuff, whether it be our people or these other nations. But it's just a lot of darkness and stupidity that's plaguing this world now. And these people have done a great job, all right, a great job in deceiving the whole world, man. All right. Edomite, the so-called white men, but their greatest tribe being Amalek. And I'll delve into those scriptures about Amalek soon. All right, but let's deal with that. Okay, let's deal with Esau. Let's deal with the sons of the wicked, right? Because we know the sons of the wicked are Esau. So let's go ahead and go to Psalms. Let's go ahead and go to Psalms 58. Psalms 58. And I'm going to start at verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And guess what? Those people over there in the land of Israel, all right, are messing up those Syrians and those different, those people of Palestine, which none of those people have any business being over there. All right. But there are a violent race of people over there, bro. All right. And shalom to all you brothers and sisters that's coming in. All right. Once again, on both platforms. All right. It says, verse 3, Psalm 58 and 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. So when they came out the womb, they're estranged people from all these other different people. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. What is this man speaking? Max Kellerman, Jew boy. He's a liar. Just like the rest of those so-called Jews that run this earth. The elite banking families are all Jewish people. All right, they have ties to Jewish families, and they use the term Jewish. There's no Jewish in the Bible. All you see is Jews. You don't see ish as the suffix. All right, of that word. All right. So they speak lies and they perpetuate a lie, saying that they're the real Jews of the Bible, which of the Torah, the Tanakh. All right, and because they don't believe in the New Testament. All right, but it is what it is. So this is a liar right here. So let's continue.
Through the years, especially scapegoating Jews for problems. So what?
Yeah, but like every problem that there is on the earth is because of those damn rats over there, those false Jews over there, man.
It appears to me is that Desean Jackson is susceptible to low quality information. And in the internet age, it's very dangerous to be that way. For those, especially people who disseminate these messages, are hoping that influencers, like maybe Desean Jackson, who are susceptible to low quality information.
And I'm going to say this too, what he just said right there, outside of him talking about the so-called black men being Jews that the Bible speaks of, and in particular, he's not really quoting the Bible, but that's what the Bible says. He is dealing with falsified information from the standpoint of what Adolf Hitler actually said and quoted. He didn't say that. All right. He said other things that that allude to the so-called black men being Jews. All right. Which is the reason why when those black people got captured by the so-called Nazis in Nazi Germany, right? They said that they were treated much better as prisoners over there than free men over here in America. Okay. And that's all due to prophecy, because these people do not fit prophecy of being the real Jews of the scriptures, of the original manuscripts, man.
Accept this information is true, this disinformation as true, and disseminate it and use their influence to get people to agree with it. So if Desean Jackson wants to educate people, then Desean, you should become educated. I've dealt with Desean Jackson, nice guy, I like him. But and I'd like to accept his apology, not just as a Jewish person, but as a.
Hey, you see that? Hey, he said, I would like to accept his apology, but he said originally that he accepted his apology. Let's play this back, man. You see how this man is a lying serpent? Listen to this motherfucker. Excuse my language.
So I'd like to accept Desean Jackson's apology, but I need to know more.
Yeah, you, Max, please.
First of all, I'm Jewish, so I'd like to accept Desean Jackson's apology.
Okay, so he said the same thing, but it's just at the end of the day, it's disingenuous what he's saying, because it's like, well, really, you don't want to accept his apology because he's hurting your goddamn feelings. He's striking a nerve with you, in other words. All right. Now, let's continue. Let's continue on this. Now, him saying that, right? Let's deal with, now, that's why I had that scripture pulled out. So Psalms 58:4, they're poison. So Psalms 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Verse 4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ears, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. All right. So everything that they say, all right, everything that they say is poison. All right. It's serpent-like. That's why the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad. What did my ancestors call these people? They called these people the forked-tongued serpent, man. That's exactly who these people are, man. They speak with a forked tongue, man. And that's it. That's in the Bible. That's in the scripture. That's in the Tanakh.
Just as a Jewish person, but as a person of social conscience.
Yeah, Jewish person. I'm gonna deal with that, but I'm gonna let this play.
I have to know more, Desean. When you say you're tweeting this not to offend anyone, but to uplift everyone, why does it say they? Why is the quote about white Jews in particular?
Because white Jews are the ones in the land over there, ruling in that land and dictating the authority over there, bro. That's why he's saying white Jews. Who else is claiming to be Jews over there? And don't say the Phoenician Jews of Ethiopia. They're not in the land over there like that, bro. And they're pushed out the land by the false Jews,
who have a plan for world domination. What is that about? You couldn't uplift African Americans without singling out Jews falsely for having some kind of conspiracy to Jews in particular to keep black people down or uninformed in order that the Jews should dominate the world. I'm glad, Desean, that you apologized.
Oh, you see that more of that forked tongue talk right there, right? I'm glad, but you're trying to accept, but you want to accept his apology, but you're glad that he did. It's the devil for you right there, man.
And I would like to accept it, but brother, I gotta know more. I gotta know much more. What you've explained so far doesn't cut it.
Max Kellerman, I called Desean Jackson Yes.
Oh, you know what? Let me see something, because I saw what's his name, Priest Daniela. I think he uploaded something about him saying something about the lunatics on the street corner, something like that. Let me go ahead and see if that's on here. Name. Let me go ahead and go on there real quick. Because I thought it played right there, but obviously there was something got edited out. So let me just see just real quick. Because I saw this brother right here posted something. Maybe I should have watched that video, but trying to find if it's there, if he talks about it or not. Oh no, that's a whole different page. But yeah, no, there was something about him talking about those lunatics on the street corner. All right, but doesn't matter. You know, they all say that anyways, man.
Yesterday, I spoke to him about it. He was incredibly contrite, very apologetic, because in his words, his message was completely misconstrued. At that time, I informed him, well, it's your fault that it was misconstrued. Because number one, you're talking about the Jewish community. Then he went into a little discussion about who he was around and what he was trying to say. But still in all, it was a bit convoluted, to say the least. And you saw when he tried to express himself on video that it was a bit convoluted. So in the end, what it comes down to is this: Desean Jackson was wrong. He was wrong to talk about the Jewish community in that fashion.
No, he wasn't, man. Because what he said, what he was saying wasn't a lie. It's just that when the lies are exposed, people get very emotional. It's like this man did just in that one little segment. All right. And of course, this dude, Stephen A. Smith, man, he goes on his little spiel, man. You know, and he should know any damn way what Desean Jackson's saying, because he himself is a goddamn Boule member, and them motherfucking Masons, they know the truth of the Israelites. They know who the real Jews are. They're taught that at one point, man, at a certain point when they reach higher levels. Now, dealing with Stephen A., there ain't much to really say about him. I mean, he's a lost Negro to me. But you know, and he can't really say anything on air any damn way. I mean, they got his show taken. You guys remember, quite frankly, with Stephen A. Smith back in the day, the reason why that show got taken down is because he was going into deep aspects of certain things that black people was going through back then in the sports world, and he was going after Babe Ruth on his platform, talking about, yeah, I'm gonna talk about Babe Ruth's racist self, and someone in the crowd was like, huh? He's like, huh? You know, but they got this man on the leash, man. He would usually say stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's more mature now, but he would say stuff that would push the envelope. And his show, quite frankly, was that show, but they took that stuff down. All right. So I can't really say too much on this guy. I mean, he's a sellout any damn way. You know what I'm saying? He's a damn Mason. All right. But point being, you know, this whole little segment is just, it's funny to say the least, because, you know, this man got to apologize. Now, I guess, you know, he's been reprimanded by the league, if I'm not mistaken. He's been reprimanded by the league, and now he has to take classes with Julian Edelman, who's another Jew himself, about Jewish culture and all this other stuff. Like that's so humiliating, especially for an Israelite like Desean Jackson. You got to, like, I would say this, right, before I move on. Desean Jackson got to make a stand for himself as a man and stand on his own 2 feet. All right. Look, you made enough money. Hopefully you saved enough money. If you really stand by those comments, or the deep root aspect of those comments, then what you would do is you would go and you would just leave the NFL. You would leave that industry alone, and you would commit fully into this truth if you're really down for black people being the real Jews, right? So I want to touch on that aspect about Jewish. All right. Let's go ahead and deal with that just real quick. Let's go ahead and deal with the Jewish. We're also going to touch on Israeli too. So you see Jewish, right? Actually, let's go ahead and type that word Jewish. Let's go ahead and go to Jewish. Let's see if Jewish is in the Bible. Okay. So right here, Titus 1:14, not giving to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Now, when you deal with Jewish, right? Now, this is in the New Testament. You won't find this in the Old Testament because there's no ish or that likeness of that word in the Hebrew. All right. When you deal with this, that Jewish fables, all right, is talking about things that they conjured up, you know, especially a lot of those guys at that time that were delving into certain doctrines that was not in the same doctrine of the Torah. And you had a lot of those during the time of Christ. All right. That's why it says not giving heed to Jewish fables and the commandments of men that turn from the truth. All right. So when you deal with the ISH, right, because they call themselves Jewish most of the times, it's to mean, it basically means what? To be like something. So it says ish to some extent, but not to the full extent. And that's what this man, Max Kellerman, calls himself and all these other Jews. Now let's deal with this. Let's deal with Israeli. All right, let's deal with the etymology of Israeli. They also say, oh, I'm Israeli and I'm all this other stuff, right? Let's deal with this Israeli etymology. All right. Oh. Israeli. Okay, watch this, right? Watch this. Israeli. Watch it. Oops, slack. Citizen. Oh, God damn it. Slack. Excuse me. So Israeli. Citizens of the state of Israel, 1948, from Israel, Hebrew national designation suffix, also used in English as the adjective 1948. It distinguishes the citizens of the modern state from the ancient people who had been known in English since as Israelites. So the etymology of Israeli, stating the people that call themselves Israeli, Jewish, Jews nowadays, right? They're distinguishing them from the ancient people that call themselves Israelites. All right. So Max Kellerman and all these other Jewish people, they're mad because this is getting found out right now, and that everything about their whole thing about anti-Semitism, oh, I'm Jewish, the Holocaust, which the Holocaust itself wasn't even there wasn't even 6 million people that died there. And really it was their fault because what it was, they were trying to use pesticides to kill these damn bugs that was on them. And they ended up killing themselves in the damn gas chamber. You can go look that information up on your own damn time. All that whole Holocaust was a hoax to begin with. You know what I'm saying? You had 100 million black people, 100 million Native American people killed in a span of, 1 century. All right. Within the span of 1 century, really within the span of 6 months in some cases. But you're talking about that's an actual Holocaust. Yet these guys, 6 million, let's say if 6 million people actually died, that's not a real Holocaust. All right. So let's go ahead and go to Zechariah 9 and 6. Go ahead and go to Zechariah chapter 9, verse 6. Zechariah 9 and 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod and will cut off the pride of the Philistines, man. And you know what, that partially that's also the case as well, because the only people that's supposed to be in that land are the Israelites, and who else? The Canaanites and the Philistines of that time. And they got pushed out during the time of the Moors, because there were the three different sections of the Moors: the Arabs, the Israelites, and the so-called Africans, the so-called Africans at that time, man. All right, and they got pushed out of the land of Israel as well. And it says, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Who's that bastard dwelling in Ashdod right now? Speaking of these Amalekites, the so-called Jewish men. All right. Shalawam, everybody that came in, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like it, like, come on, man. Let's do. Okay, let's go into more of this. Israeli etymology. Let's go ahead and go for this. Oh, Slakia. Dealing with what was being said. Trying to think what. Oh yeah, Arthur Koestler. Let me bring this scripture out real quick. All right, let's get Revelations 2:9. All right. Oh, Slakia, Revelations 2:9. And it says, I know thy works, tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. And we deal with these Jewish people, right? They're damn rabbis, they're rabbinic priesthood, so to speak, right? These people don't deal with the Torah. They deal with the Talmud, which promotes what incest, pedophilia, all right, bestiality. It promotes all these things, man. All right, and I might have to do a whole nother lesson on that book, on that garbage. And the Talmud was created by our people during that time, but these fake Jews have adopted those teachings. All right, they don't even believe in the Torah, man. They believe that your lineage is based off your mother, not your father. All right. That's how wicked that's how false of a Jew. That's how further away they are from the truth of being Jews. They're not Jews at all. And they're definitely rich. We're not. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not rich. So it says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. So during that time, you had Edomites trying to be Jews back then, during dealing with the Herodian dynasty, and you also have them today. All right, so let's deal with Revelations 3:9. Revelations 3:9. Behold, I'll make them of the synagogues of Satan, which they say they are Jews and are not, but do lie, right? Because all those synagogues those Jewish synagogues over there, man, they worship Satan, basically, man. Over there, they don't really worship the Most High. They don't worship Yah. They don't even believe in Yahweh. You have to deny Yahweh. You have to deny the Messiah to even be over there. All right. Truth be told. Oops, Salakia. Oh. All right, here, Salak. So behold, I'll make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I'll make them come to worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee, right? And to love you, Israel, is basically what he's saying. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you Negroes are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of, man. All right? Not these fake Jewish men, okay? These Amalekites, all right? Let me bring out one more scripture before I find that book. Jeremiah 16:19. All right, so watch this, right? O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee, from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. All right, and you already have so-called Jewish men admitting that the so-called black men in America are the true Jews, man. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, you know, when I was still in Sakari, there was some there was a Jewish woman that came up and admitted, yeah, the black man is the real Jew. All right, and she's a Jew. She's a white Jewish woman, and she came up and admitted that to us, man, one time, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Look, there's nothing that can be done, and there's nothing that they can say to stop the truth. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, like, you know, all this signified right here is that this kingdom's just about done. All right. I have another scripture, but let me bring out that book of 13th Tribe real quick. If I hadn't lost that book yet. All right. Yep, I got it right here. Go ahead and deal with it. So, this book right here. You see this book right here? This book right here is Arthur Koestler, the 13th Tribe. Now let's deal with some very key information in here about these people. All right. And this man, Arthur Koestler, was a Jew. And guess what? He got killed for bringing this out. So watch this, right? Now this is off page 16, and I'm going to read to 17. So it says, how important in quantitative terms that is the presence of the Caucasian sons of Japheth in the tents of Shem. One of the most radical propounders of the hypothesis concerning the Khazar origin of Jewry is a professor of medieval Jewish history at Tel Aviv University, A.N. Polik. His book, Khazaria, in Hebrew, was published in 1944 in Tel Aviv, and a second edition in 1951. In his introduction, he writes that the facts demand a new approach both to the problem of the relations between the Khazar Jewry and other Jewish communities, and the question of how far we can go in regarding this Khazar Jewry as the nucleus of the large Jewish settlement in Eastern Europe. The descendants of this settlement, those who stayed where they were, those who immigrated to the United States and to other countries, and those who went to Israel consists now the large majority of world Jewry. So they're making references to the Khazars being the people of Jewry that's been spread throughout all throughout the earth, including the United States and Israel. Now listen to this. All right, this is the facts. This was written before the full extent of the Holocaust was known, but that does not alter the fact that the large majority, and the true extent of the Holocaust, right? That does not alter the fact that the large majority of the surviving Jews in the world of Eastern Europe, and thus perhaps mainly of Khazar origin, relating them to being Khazars, right? A disgusting, filthy people during the medieval times, which are Edomites. If so, this would mean that the ancestors came not from the Jordan of Israel, but from the Volga, Eastern Europe, not from Canaan, Israel, but from the Caucasus Mountains, Caucasian people, once believed to be cradle of the Aryan race, that genetically they are more closely related to the Hun, the Ilgar, the Magaria tribes than to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're saying that they have no relation to the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. They don't have no relation, bloodline, or lineage. Should this turn out to be the case, then that term anti-Semitism, I went into that just a second ago, will become void. Read that again. Then the term anti-Semitism would become void of meaning based on a misapprehension shared by both the killers and their victims. The story of the Khazar Empire, as it slowly emerges from the past, begins to look like the cruelest hoax which history has ever perpetrated. So these people are the damn bastard Jews that the Bible speaks of, man. This man is basically brought out in this book, which got him killed, right? Mind you, he got killed not too long after he published his book, that these people are of Khazarian origin. They didn't come from Israel. They came from the farther eastern country, Eastern Europe. They came they're not Jews. They come from the Caucasus Mountains, who are the people calling themselves Caucasians, the Edomites. All right. And all right, that whole thing about the Holocaust, all that other stuff was a damn hoax, man. And them being Jews is a goddamn hoax, the greatest hoax in the history of the earth. Okay. That's basically what he's relaying in this book. So what Desean Jackson was trying to relate, he didn't articulate to the best visibility because he read off of something that was not actually credible source, but the underlining meaning of the Jews being black people and the people claiming to be Jews, that was accurate. All right, of what he said in that regard. All right, and it gives validity to it if he brought out the right sources of information. But being where he's at, he's gonna be lambasted by those fake Jews owning the damn NFL league, NBA league, what have you, all throughout. He's probably getting calls and death threats from the Israeli Mossad or whoever. All right, but that's the case. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and deal with. There was a scripture I wanted to bring out. Oh yeah, let's deal with that. Let's deal with Exodus 17:4. Oh, let's deal with Exodus 17:4. Let me do it. Amalek. Oops, a lie. Let me do it. Amalek. Oops, a lie. I'm trying to think where that scripture's at. I don't know if it's in Exodus. Let me see. I'm gonna find it real quick. I'm gonna find it in my Bible real quick. Oh, it got to be in Exodus 17:4. Or somewhere in that regard. 16. Okay, 17:8. Exodus 17:8. Still with that. Oops. Still with Exodus 17:8. Still with this. So Exodus 17:8. Okay, so Exodus 17:8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel and Rephidim, right? Now let's deal with this. Let's go all the way down. Exodus 17:14. And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And I'm going to skip down to verse 16. For he said, because the Lord has sworn, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And the Lord is going to end up putting down Amalek, the chief house of the nation of Esau. Speaking of these Caucasian people, the so-called white men. All right, he's going to put them down. And he's going to establish our kingdom up. Thus saith in Revelation 3:9. All right. Actually, let me go ahead and go right back to that. Revelations 3:9. Revelation 3:9. Revelations 3:9. The Lord said he's going to destroy Amalek from out the remembrance of Amalek, right? Just like they destroyed our heritage, right? The Lord is going to do Same thing back to them. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, Amalek, so-called Jewish people, Israelis, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I'll make them to come and worship before thy feet and to know that I have loved thee. Yeah, these people are going to bow down to us, man. They're going to be taken off. They're going to be rooted up out of this damn earth in terms of their power, man. Why? Because the Bible says so. The Lord said so. The Torah, the Tanakh, and the gospel has spoken. All right. So with that said, I want to say call. So with that said, man, I want to say call Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai. All right. This is Reuben on God from the Zealots of Israel camp. And with that said, man, I want to say Shalawam, man, and your brothers and sisters, sincere brothers and sisters for that matter, have a blessed evening. All right. Shalom.